Well, we're back again with yet another Fluff analysis, and this time I'll be talking about the Gala Dragalia Summon Showcase, which will be active from the 30th of July until the 4th of August, UTC. Let's get straight to it with the first adventurer added, the 5-star Flame Dagger, Gala Laxi, the synchronized android. Gala Laxi's first skill is Code 14, Conviction, which deals damage to enemies ahead. In Eden mode, this becomes Eden Code 05 Gavura, which deals damage to enemies and inflicts burn. This is shareable for 5 Skillshare points. Gala Laxi's second skill is Eden mode, which grants Laxi the Fig effect and activates Eden mode for 20 seconds. Fig will automatically attack enemies but is not counted as skill damage. If Eden mode is used during Eden mode, it becomes Eden Code 01 Kita, which deals damage to enemies ahead. Gala Laxi's co-ability is Standard Attack Damage plus 20%, which we've seen before with Tiki. Her chain co-ability grants flame units plus 10% wind resist at 10 combo and above. Gala Laxi's first ability is Resonant Hearts, giving Laxi a 3-stage charge bar which is filled with standard attacks, force strikes, and dash attacks. Laxi gains 20% defense, 15% skill damage, and 15% strength as she fills the 3 stages. The bar does not charge while Fig is active and will be depleted when Fig is removed. Laxi's second ability is Mana Kiln, which is just a fancy name for full stun and sleep resist. And then Gala Laxi's final ability is Critical Frenzy, giving her 4% critical rate for every 15 hit combo, up to 3 times per combo, and 4% to the critical damage modifier every time Laxi crits, up to 10 times per combo. The critical damage increase has a cooldown of 1 second between activations, and all bonuses are lost when the combo counter is reset. Gala Laxi also gets a unique attack string, force strike, and dash attack, as well as a secondary attack string if you wait for a split second after attacks before tapping for another standard attack. The alternate attack string charges Laxi's Resonant Hearts bar more per tap, but I'm unsure as to whether mashing or using the enhanced combo charges the bar faster overall. I believe SP gain is actually faster using the default string, but this sort of calculation will depend on frame data. Overall, Gala Laxi seems to be a capable character. Brotal has already cleared Master Vault with Laxi, and Laxi's skills hit decently hard without any massive SP costs. Looks like Eden mode is meant to be a period of heightened damage, which makes sense considering the story. Gala Laxi's reliance on combo to sustain her critical frenzy, however, will make it somewhat annoying when the boss disengages, such as Standard and Expert Volk. Using Eden mode to ensure that the Fig can use ranged attacks during high Midgard's armor when the players are forced to disengage could be a fun gimmick, but might also feel a bit wasteful. There's definitely a high skill ceiling to optimizing Gala Laxi play and planning out skill usage throughout a fight, which could be, interesting to play. Following this, we have some new permanent additions to the roster, the first of which is the 5-star Wind Wand, Summer Sinoa, the Seaside Scholar. Summer Sinoa's first skill is Chrono Trial, which deals damage to a target and nearby enemies, drawing them together and inflicting poison. Each cast of Chrono Trial grants the user a stack of Overload, which decreases the skill gauge fill rate for Chrono Trial by 30%. This stacks up to 3 times. Chrono Trial is shareable for 6 Skillshare points and does not apply Overload when shared. Summer Sinoa's second skill is Bracing Summer, which removes all stacks of Overload and applies one of the following buffs at random for each stack of Overload consumed. 2 stages of Inspiration, plus 15% to the critical damage modifier for 30 seconds, and finally 20% critical rate for 30 seconds. The buffs are not granted multiple times in single casts of Bracing Summer. At 3 stacks of Overload, all buffs are applied to the whole team. At 0 stacks of Overload, 1 buff is granted to Sinoa at random. Sinoa has the standard staff co-ability of plus 15% skill damage, and her chain co-ability grants wind units 8% water resist for 15 seconds upon inflicting poison. Sinoa's first ability is Determination, which increases the damage dealt by Chrono Trial by 20, 25, or 30% for each stack of Overload Sinoa has, respectively. Sinoa also has freeze resist, and her final ability grants her plus 30% skill damage. Summer Sinoa's Chrono Trial hits for 1600%, with an initial cost of just under 2000 SP to charge. It'll cost about 10,000 SP to charge 3 times, counting overload, which will then enable you to buff your whole team with crit-centric buffs for 30 seconds. I feel like a team full of Summer Sinoa could be immensely fun to play, with huge critical rates and crit damage buffs. Her skill damage and determination abilities channel even more power into her Chrono Trial, so I feel like it's likely for Sinoa to be a powerhouse in the Wind roster. Being the first Wind adventurer to grant inspiration, this could potentially open new doors into crit-centric Wind compositions. Maybe Dragalia Xanthrid could work well with Sinoa. The next addition to the roster is the 5-star Wind Dagger, Summer Norwin, the Summer Scribe. Summer Norwin's first skill is Summer Memories, which deals damage to a target and nearby enemies, and activates skill shift for both this skill and Norwin's second skill, Ephemeral Love. Phase 2 and 3 simply increase the damage dealt, while Phase 4 deals no damage but removes all stacks of Doleful Spirit, a debuff granted by Ephemeral Love, and also energizes the entire team. Summer Memories is shareable for 7 skill share points. As mentioned, Norwin's second skill is Ephemeral Love, which deals damage to a target and nearby enemies, and activates skill shift for both of Norwin's skills. Again, Phase 2 and 3 both increase the damage dealt, while Phase 4 deals increased damage and also poisons enemies, while inflicting Norwin with a stack of Doleful Spirit, which caps at 4 stacks. While inflicted with Doleful Spirit, Norwin can't gain energy, and using Ephemeral Love will cause Norwin to take 20% of his maximum hit points in damage, which also scales with the number of Doleful Spirit stacks. Summer Norwin has the standard Dagger co-ability of plus critical rate, and his chain co-ability grants Wind units health regeneration at 10 combo or above. Summer Norwin's first ability is Energy equals Skill Haste, which increases the rate at which Norwin fills his skill gauges with each level of energy, capping at 25% when energized. Norwin's second ability is Freeze Resist, and his final ability grants him plus 30% Poisoned Punisher. Both of Norwin's skills cost roughly 4.5k SP, so they'll practically be available simultaneously, assuming you cast one directly following the other. Phases 1, 2 and 3 of both skills are functionally identical as well, so the only decision making involved is whether or not to remove Doleful Spirit stacks and energize the team, or to use a nuke for almost 2000% damage. The layout of Norwin's skill phases, however, will prevent him from using his own energize with his nuke, which is somewhat disappointing. The choice between a nuke and energizing will likely vary by fight and situation, such as predicting unavoidable damage in the Ciela fight, or whether you'll want to clear Doleful Spirit stacks to enable another adventurer or Norwin himself to energize Norwin. All in all, it's fairly difficult to evaluate Norwin in a vacuum, but my personal prediction is that he'll probably sit somewhere between 6th and 10th for personal DPS in the Wind roster. Finally, we also have a dragon added to the showcase, and we have the 5-star Wind Dragon Summer Konohana Sakuya, the Beachside Flower. Summer Konohana Sakuya's skill is Seashore Dance, which, when maximum unbound, restores the user's hit points and grants them a smiling flower. Summer Konohana Sakuya's ability grants Wind units Summer Flowers, so the user starts with 1 Smiling Flower and gains additional stacks of Smiling Flower every minute, capping at 6 stacks. The first 4 flowers grant 40% strength, 20% defense, 50% skill damage, and 5% water resist. The 6th flower grants a hit point regeneration buff. My main comparison here will be against Vayu, who grants 20% strength and 90% skill damage. This multiplies to an almost 2.3 times multiplier for skill damage, whereas Konohana Sakuya reaches a 2.1 times multiplier after getting 3 flowers. This slightly decreased skill multiplier is traded for a 40% strength aura instead of Vayu's 20%, so it comes down to an individual adventurer's DPS spread to see which dragon is better. Personally, I don't think the difference between Vayu and a 3-flower Konohana Sakuya is too big, but you also have to consider that Konohana Sakuya takes time to scale. I think she's more akin to a side grade to Vayu, but might be worth aiming for if you lack a Vayu yourself. While I've previously reviewed the event characters and Wyrmprint editions, I think from now on I'll split them into separate videos. It'll make it slightly easier to put this video together if there's less content that I have to lump together. Overall for this showcase, I think Gala Laxi and Summer Sinoa are the adventurers to look out for. with Summon Norwin ready to make you excited, and then disappoint you immediately afterwards when it turns out that the Dagger unit is not the Dagger unit you wanted. Personally, I'm holding out for the 2nd anniversary in just under 2 months, since I have the means to clear Ciela and High Mercury already. Martha and Halloween Lowen will probably remain the preferred picks for Expert and Master Volk, but Gala Laxi is certainly capable of clearing. Now may even be a good time for you to try the fights for the first time, as many inexperienced Gala Laxis will also be, probably, attempting to clear the fight. In the end though, I'm not your boss. Pull for your favourite characters if you wish. Out of all of these, I personally like Summer Sinoa myself. As always, take it easy, stay safe, and I wish you luck in your upcoming polls.